What's up? Welcome to week 4 of the Wiff Talk post-game show. A lot of great games to break down this week, especially with the video being out. Or not being able to be out. This is something that can really help everyone kind of be on the same page. So, game 1, Sandlot versus Monarchs. Jack Fields, Conlon Downey. Huge, exciting matchup going into it. Jack Fields pulled himself, I'm pretty sure in the first inning, bringing Zayden in. Something that I can't remember ever happening. Jack Fields being pulled. Conlon with another no-hitter. And then Sandlot pull out the 5-2 win, I believe, against the Monarchs to pull themselves up to 5 wins. And Monarchs falling to 5 losses. Game 2, Dinos Cows. This was a Jack Green versus Kai game. Which is something that I'm not sure that matchup's ever happened, so that was cool going in. Cows started with a 1-0 lead, but then Foster dropped a home run to tie it at 1-1, and then Tubbs hit a grand slam. So the Dinos pull out the win against the Cows to advance. So then these next 2 games are the battle for last place and the battle for first place, which is kind of cool that it turned out that way. Monarchs, Cows. It was Connor versus Brock. Monarchs went up 2-0 in the first. Kind of kept that the whole way. And it was a 2-1 game, but then there was a lob strikeout at the end of the 3rd inning to end that game. And that was the battle for last place. Barely squeaked that one out. Then battle for first place. Dinos, Sandlot. Jace versus Brady again. Jace had already beaten Brady, and Jace was also undefeated going into this game. But Brady with the revenge game. The Dinos absolutely whooped the Sandlot 13-0. Brady had I think 3-run home run and an inside the park home run. Carson went 5 for 5, something like that. It was just all Dinos this game. Absolutely dominant win. That makes the power rankings. Dinos clearly have to be first. They're first in the actual rankings. They've looked amazing. They had one 0-2 week and then have been dominant every other week since. Number 2 are the Sandlot. Even though they had that big loss, they're still I think 2 games ahead of 3rd place. They still looked good. They just had a rough game at week 4, but they are clearly the second best team. At 3, I've got the Cows. I think I trust Foster more than anyone in the Monarchs right now. Both those teams, it's definitely a 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. I think I said the same thing last week. But I would have the Cows above the Monarchs, but that could really go anyway. And the Sandlot could really slip. The only team that really feels solid, at least after 4 weeks, is the Dinos at 1. They've clearly looked like the best team so far. And kind of with the MVP, talking about the power rankings being able to change, the MVP I feel like has changed every week. Even the top 3 has changed every week. It's really going to come down to the wire because Brady had a pretty rough week 1 and week 2, but then had a really good week 3 and week 4. And so it just really changes. No one's been consistently top 1, top 2 every week. We've had a different player of the week every week, and that's something that hasn't changed this week, so now I'm going to bring in Brady Simpson, the player of the week for week 4.
Woo!
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
So I kind of mentioned it. You had a pretty rough week 1 and week 2, starting 0-2, but then have had stellar week 3 and week 4. So what kind of changed in your mind or in the way you're playing between week 2 and week 3?
Week 3, week 4, I just started caring more. Week 1, week 2, didn't really feel like wiffle ball. Didn't really want to be out there, I'm going to be honest. Week 1, people were like, started figuring me out. Week 2, figured out because they've been seeing me for like a really long time in this league. And once you get figured out, you have to make an adjustment. And week 3, week 4, I made an adjustment. I'm going to make an adjustment in week 5. I don't know, I gotta learn a new pitch. So, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Gotta make adjustments.
So you're a previous manager. Do you ever try to kind of use that experience? Because even though Carson is the manager of the team, do you ever use your previous experience to kind of help out your team or help out yourself on the field?
Yeah, whenever we were playing against the Cows, it was like, it's hard to beat the Dinos because they got 2 managers on the field. Like, I've raised Kai in this league. He's like my son. Me and Kai have always been on the same team. Other than that 1 year, he was on the Sandlot last year. That was a rough year for both. Well, not a rough year for me. A rough year for him. And I love Kai. And I don't know. I just know that man. Like if there's a player struggling out in the field, I try to help him. Like try to show him where to pitch. Like for instance, there was one point in the season to where I was managing a player from the other team and showing them how to pitch correctly. And that's what a lot of the players, like Foster Huggins, for example, he's great at making lineups and stuff like that, making people feel welcomed on the team, other than Caleb. But where it stands me out from other managers, and I'm not even a manager, is I actually show people what to do, and like try to make them better, because it's a team game at the end of the day.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the kind of the dynamic between you and Carson. Whenever people are struggling pitching, that's kind of more your area of expertise, and he allows you to kind of go in. Kai had a couple of rough batters. He walked 2 or 3 to start innings. You stepped in, then he kind of went ace for the rest of the time, and so obviously that's a lot of credit to Kai, but also credit to you stepping in and coaching. I think your pitching, regardless of your record, from at least my perspective, has also looked the best this year. You're throwing the fastest. You seem to be the hardest to hit consistently. And I think that's shown in the fact that Kai's also pitching good, and you guys are kind of working off each other, and you're helping coach him.
I mean, Carson Huggins, 4-time manager of the year. He's going to win it again this year. Everyone just loves to be on his team, and it's great.
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of like the Eagles.
I got to say, so my final question to kind of give you the podium. There was some, with that deleted video for the primetime game, there was a legendary interview of yours that was deleted. I kind of want to give you the space to recreate it, maybe make some edits if you want, kind of say your message out so the world can see it in one clear space.
I'll make one edit, and it's at the end. I messed up at the end. It's basically, at a young adolescent age, walking into this league, I ran my mouth a lot. I talked a lot of stuff, didn't back it up, and one thing I've learned at a young adolescent age is I learned this the very hard way from Foster Huggins. Never talk crap if you can't back it up. And there was lots of people talking crap that couldn't back it up whatsoever. I mean, my bad days are career days for other people. I allowed 4 runs in one game. They're like, "Oh my God, Brady, you suck. You are washed." And I had, but if someone else had that game, they'd be like, "You did pretty good out there. You had a lot of strikeouts. You only allowed 4 runs. You put us in a position to win the game, and that's all we could ask for. Like, great job. You have a high ceiling." But there's a difference between high expectations and low expectations, ladies and gentlemen. Always put yourself on high expectations, especially in a team sport like wiffle ball. Stay blessed, y'all.
All right. No better way to wrap it up. That's the Week 4 Wiff post-game show. I'll see you guys next week.
Stay privileged, yo.